Awesome. Okay, let's get started. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Welcome, Ray. And I'm going to turn it over to Rob Smith, a former FC Delco coach, and now a current FC Delco board member. He was also the founder of the girls program here at FC Delco, who knows Ray well and is going to introduce him.
Hello, everybody. Thanks. First and foremost, I want to thank you for taking the time to jump on this Zoom and have an opportunity to meet Ray Gaddis via Zoom. And I just want to tell you a little bit about him. I know Ray personally. He's a fine young man, and, I call him my little brother. That'll tell you maybe a little bit how old I might be. But Ray was the 2012 number 35 overall pick in the MLS draft to the Philadelphia Union. Ray is a hardworking, persistent, committed,
FC Delco shirt,
focused, and faithful on and off the field. Ray also continues to educate himself and has completed classes from Harvard and recently received his master's degree from West Virginia University. So if you can just really understand the commitment and hard work that it takes to be a professional athlete and continue to go to college and further your education, Ray exemplifies that. A couple other things I'll tell you. Ray grew up in Indiana, and he'll touch on his experience against FC Delco. He went to West Virginia University. Ray is also the Philadelphia Union leader in career appearances with over 225 appearances since 2012. Ray also in 2014 led the league in minutes played with 3,051. While at West Virginia University, Ray was a preseason All-American as well as an All-American in 2010 and 2011. Ray was also on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list for 2 straight years, making him the only West Virginia player to ever be featured on that list for 2 consecutive seasons. I believe you guys will enjoy Ray. Those of you that have seen him play, and I hope everybody on the call has seen him play. Once you get finished speaking with Ray this evening, I think you'll have a greater insight into the not only great player that he has been for the Philadelphia Union, but a very faithful and humble servant. So without further ado, Ray?
Well, how's it going, everybody? Let me first say it's amazing to see all of you gather here today on Zoom. It's a lot of people on here. I want to thank the opportunity to be had at this time for everybody that has made this happen from behind the scenes. This was a thing that transpired rather quickly, but I jumped at the opportunity because somebody also did this for me, the likes of a DeMarcus Beasley, the likes of a guy by the name of Jonathan Spector, who played from Man United, who was an American. Some of you may not know these people, but this is an amazing opportunity. I just want to say not playing for FC Delco and being a little bit older than you guys, FC Delco has most definitely been a club that's always been one of the best clubs in the nation, even when I was a little kid. And you guys are in good hands. You guys should be honored to play for the club. Just always continue to work hard and do your very best. With that being said, I also want to shout out to Mike. That's a nice Ray Gaddis jersey back there behind you from the FC Delco screen. If you guys want to flip through the screen, that's a nice touch starting off, man.
Nice. Very nice. Thanks, Ray. Can we start with a question about, did you play other sports when you were growing up? Was it always just soccer?
That's a great question. Growing up, I played baseball, ran track, played football. The spectrum of soccer or the soccer scene has changed so much, especially in this day and age now, where soccer is now considered a primary sport. Uh, when I was growing up, I played multiple sports, but I also felt that the sports also helped me in my game uh, relating to soccer. For instance, me playing baseball, I played second base, played third base, played in the outfield. It allowed me to see how the ball floats in the air and read the ball, especially playing outside back, and to read angles, especially when people are hitting the ball, what your coach would call a diagonal ball. Uh, when I was running track, it taught me how to really uh, heighten my endurance, but also pace myself throughout a game. As a soccer game, an average soccer player will run anywhere from 8 to 10 miles a game. Just various aspects. Playing basketball taught me how to read coverages, how to play kind of like a zone, helped me with my defense. So playing other sports also really, really taught me a lot and has really played an integral part in my game as a professional athlete.
Great. When did you decide to focus on soccer?
I started focusing on soccer. My dad proposed a decision between baseball and soccer. It was right around, I want to say, really seventh, eighth grade, where I really had to choose. The higher you go up, the more is asked of you as a soccer player. And I couldn't be in two places at one time. But make sure you make the decision that's best for you. Uh, a, a lot of you may play other sports or may participate in other sports. Uh, I just love soccer so much. I love the aspect of playing a team sport. I love the aspect of I like to tackle. I like to tackle players and win the ball off of them. So I really just love that a lot. So around seventh, eighth grade.
Were you always a natural defender?
No, to be honest, I think my experience growing up, I actually played forward. That might be uncommon to a lot of you guys. And then as I got older, I just kind of kept getting moved around a lot. But I played in midfield for a long time. But the aspect of me playing forward in midfield really has helped me become a good defender because I, in part, know how a forward thinks because I grew up scoring a lot of goals, played in the advanced part of the field. And then as I got older, I just always had a desire to just want to play at any cost. And then I started playing outside back.
Nice. Did you always know that you wanted to play professionally?
Oh, for sure. I'll tell you a little story. To this day, a lot of you guys won't know what a VHS is. You'll probably have to ask your parents. But my dad used to record everything as I was a little boy, and he just converted a lot of the VHS recordings that he had of him recording me and made them digital. And one of them on there, I didn't know anything about the Philadelphia Union. This was when I was 3 years old. I said I was going to be an All-American in soccer, and I was going to play professional soccer. So I spoke it into existence, and the Lord's really blessed me to have a long career so far, and really blessed me to even be in a great city such as Philadelphia. So yes, I always knew. I always knew at an early age.
What did you do to stay motivated and focused on your goal?
As I got older, let me say this first and foremost. I'm looking at the audience of the people that's on Zoom, all the players. First and foremost, enjoy the game. When you enjoy the game, the focus is natural. The focus will come. So let me say that. But a lot of things, we had some rules in my house, and I know during this pandemic, I'm sure a lot of you have participated in e-learning. I assume I know nothing about e-learning, uh, but we had this rule: if I did what I was supposed to do, then I could do what I want to do. Meaning, I kept my grades up. I stayed out of trouble, and that alone helped me right there as a young child really focus and home in. I knew I could not play soccer if I didn't keep my grades up. I knew I couldn't play soccer or hang out with my friends on the soccer field if I didn't act right in school and in home. Also, part of my focus, my dad's a military person, just various structural things. He really imparted in me, kept me focused, and just having great friends. You know, I had a lot of friends who really believed in me, and I look back on it now, and they really, steered me the right way, or had my best interest at hand. Soccer is a team game, and you want people around you that is going to be willing to do what's right in the long term for you. And I know I had some friends, they didn't all play soccer. They didn't always make it to the professional level, but they would stay after dark pushing me if I asked them to come out there. They would tell me, no, stay home. As some of you get older, you're going to have to make decisions whether you want to go out with friends or whether you want to do other things. They always steered me the right way. So I thank the Lord for great friends as well.
That's awesome. When you were looking at colleges, how did you decide on West Virginia?
Me being from Indiana, Indiana's a big school for college soccer. They won a lot of national titles. It really came down at that time. It was called the Big East. Uh, and the Big East was probably the second best or first best league. And I knew I wanted a lot of exposure uh, in the Big East. And it really came down to uh, the fit that was perfect for me. I'll tell any of you who have aspirations of playing college soccer, pick a program that meets the needs and the necessity of your position. Don't pick a school based off of the stature of the school. Like for the women, don't pick a North Carolina. Don't pick a Stanford if you have 5 center backs already ahead of you, unless you're just out and out the best player. Do what's best for you in your situation where you're going to get the best out of your education and out of the best of your soccer experience. Same thing for guys. Don't choose a UVA. Don't choose a IU because it looks good and because you want to be there. If you have aspirations of truly playing, you're going to want to pick the place that you're going to feel comfortable in. That also, there's an academic portion. Every school is kind of known for some type of major at that school. Like West Virginia, they were known for their communications program. They were known for their engineering program. I started to look at what schools for life after a soccer was going to allow me to have a career in it as well if I didn't make professional soccer, to be a professional soccer player. So those are things to think about. That's how I really narrowed down my search. And I don't know if any of you guys have been in West Virginia. If you ever go there, Google West Virginia in the fall, and you'll just fall in love with all the trees and everything that's going on there.
Yeah, WVU, beautiful, beautiful campus. And guys, at some point, when there's about 15 or 20 minutes left, I'm just moving through your questions that you sent in. If you have more questions, be sure to send them to me, the host. So you can find that in the chat feature in your navigation. So yeah, we'll ask those of Ray at the end. What is the toughest game you've ever played in?
Unfortunately, I've been to 3 championships. It's always tough to lose a championship, and we lost all 3 times, unfortunately. But playing the U.S. Open Cup here in Philadelphia, versus Kansas City. Playing, I don't know if any of you guys also caught the last game that we actually got to play versus LAFC. It's one of the toughest games, most intense games that we got to play in. I don't know if you've seen our center back score a rocket, but playing in those type of games are probably the toughest. Playing against Thierry Henry, playing against Zotlan, those are probably the toughest games, I would say.
Great. How do you overcome, hard things like losing championships? And could you share, something that you went through that was hard, either as a player or, that you overcame?
Yeah, I'll share 2 scenarios. I'll share 3 scenarios. When I was younger, I actually was told that I wasn't good enough to make. I don't know if you guys know what ODP is now, but it was the Olympic Development Team or program at that time. They kind of told me I wasn't good enough. I didn't believe that, but sometimes people are going to have to make decisions about players. But I stayed grounded in my faith. My grandfather's a pastor. I grew up in the church. That's one instance I've always turned to my faith to keep me level-headed, as well as to keep me on the path to becoming a professional soccer player. The second instance is senior year. Like Mr. Miff said, I was All-American. We playing against UConn. We're actually playing against Andre Blake, our goalie. I don't know. I love Andre, but we were playing at our home stadium, and we actually ended up winning the game. I always love to tell that part. UConn was number 1 in the country at the time. They were the number 1 ranked team, and I want to say maybe either the end of the first half, one of their players kind of stepped on my ankle, and it was in the midst of going right before the NCAA tournament. So I had to rehab and try to get back because I didn't want to miss in my senior year opportunity to participate in the NCAA championships. And again, they kind of said that I wouldn't be back and I wouldn't play. But within a matter of maybe like 2 weeks, God supernaturally healed me, and I wasn't fully 100%. But I also felt that my 70% was better than some players' 100%. Not because of who I am, but because of Jesus Christ, who has given me the Holy Spirit. And I overcame a major injury. And before that time, my stock dropped in the draft. So I actually fell, and the Union picked me in the second round, 35th pick. And no one thought that I was going to get picked. And I was praying one night, and God told me to go to the draft in Kansas City. And my parents kept asking me, are you sure you're going to get picked? And I said, yes. The Holy Spirit told me, God already told me. And no one believed that I was even in the stands at the draft. And I actually ended up getting drafted, and they were kind of shocked by it. But my faith has always encouraged me to continue to press on and continue to do my very best.
What do you think has been the key? You've obviously been in the league for a long time. What do you think has been the key to your success and your longevity as a player, a professional player?
Number 1, again, my faith, for starters. Number 2, I don't know about you guys, but having the right nutrition system. How many of you guys are eating pizza on the weekend or eating out every day? Ask yourself that. You have to eat right. Also, you can't stay up for the guys. You guys can't stay up playing Fortnite every night. You guys can't stay up playing FIFA live every night. Getting proper rest also helps you perform. Just a series of things. Listening to my coaches, listening to my parents to put me in this position. Always having good counsel around me. But the three things are nutrition, my faith, getting proper rest, and then also be willing to do extra. Go the extra mile. There's a chat button on here. I want to see everybody's answer or type in. If you kick the ball with your right foot 100 times, how many times are you going to kick it with your left foot? I want to see who's going to get the right answer. Be willing to improve in every aspect. Okay. Oh, I see a lot of right answers. A lot of right answers.
Yeah.
The answer, most of you know, if you kick the ball and that's your dominant foot with your right foot 100 times, the answer is 200 times to strengthen your left foot. Almost everybody got the right answer, literally. So you guys have been told that. So that's good. SC DELCO is teaching, or whoever's talking to you guys is teaching you the right thing, and I'm excited about that. But always being willing to do extra. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm a right-footed player, but I've played more games at left back than I've played any place. I played over probably 100 games in my career at left back, but I'm not a left-footed person. So I always had to work extra hard. I always had to work, to go the extra mile and work on my game. But it's helped me in my career tremendously.
Oh, that's awesome. And good answers, guys. What is your favorite pregame meal? Speaking of nutrition, what's your favorite pregame meal?
I'd probably say sausage rigatoni with baked chicken. You know, if we're on the road, one place that I really like, or the hotel that we really stay at that does a great job of preparing meals for us, is Atlanta. They have we have a nutritionist on our team, so we already have preset meals. New England always makes some great grilled salmon as well, but I would say baked chicken with rigatoni pasta to go with it.
Yeah. What's your favorite stadium to play in?
There's no place like home. Now it's called Seabrew Park. This is the third time the stadium has changed for me. But my favorite opposing stadium, I really like Life of Bank Stadium, LAFC Stadium. It's new. I have a couple favorites. Seattle, playing out there, it's so loud. I mean, you get 70,000 people screaming at you, and the atmosphere is really good. And I would probably have to say anytime that I can get to Columbus or Chicago, I usually have a big family, and they usually come out and they watch me. So I always love to see my family come out. So you can see maybe like as high as 30 or just my parents. Anytime I get to see my parents in Columbus or Chicago, they're not my favorite stadiums, but my favorite stadiums because I get to see my family.
Got it. I'm going to weave in one of the kids' questions here. And this is from Dylan Walsh. He is asking what your favorite board game is and what your favorite video game is.
I see you on the screen, Dylan. I found you. The blue shirt. I see you, buddy. Favorite board game. I would have to say right now, me and my wife, we've been playing. I don't know if it's a board game, but Guess Who? That's been our game right now. But I like Trouble. That's my game, and I like Monopoly. Those three. Video game, obviously FIFA. I haven't played in a while, so some of the younger players like Fontana and Matt Real, Mark McKenzie, they beat up on me a little bit in the FIFA game. You know, they constantly play. Brendan Aronson, he's a big gamer. You gotta watch out for Brendan Aronson. Those guys really kick my butt. And Jack DeBreeze, they love to play the Fortnite. So we all kind of on road trips congregate in those guys' room and watch them just play games and talk and everything. So.
Very nice. A couple are asking, let's see, Brendan, Jitesh, they're all, they're debating. They wanted to get your input. Do you like playing on turf or grass better?
Grass, most definitely for me. Grass, I mean, it's just something about how the field is cut. when you walk out there. And it feels good on the body. You guys don't know yet, but when you get older, you'll see that, turf is a little bit tough on the body. Players such the likes like Zotlan, they'll have in their contracts that they won't play on turf. They only play on grass fields. So it does the body good, but it's just something the way the ball rolls on grass. It's just amazing. And when you see the goalposts on there, I just love grass. So.
That's awesome. What are you missing most right now? From a soccer standpoint, what are you missing most during this time, in the lockdown?
Seeing everybody on here, different ages, different races and everything, it's just the unity that soccer can bring so many people together. I'm sure you guys were expecting an answer like, oh, I just miss being out there. But soccer is a means of bringing so many people together that love all the same thing. I just really I really miss seeing the different faces in the stadiums and different people, whether they're working the games, reffing the games, playing the games, how many people just truly enjoy and love the game of soccer. So I think that's the thing that I'm missing, and I think it unites so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. This is from Brendan. Are you still, what are you doing to train now? Are you still training? And, how are you staying fresh?
Well, we have a training regimen that's being sent to us daily by a sports physio. His name is Garrison Draper. He's staying on top of us. And then, like today I went for maybe a 30-minute clip of a bike ride at a high speed. But also I've been working out and just doing the various things that they tell us. But, I know for you guys it must be redundant playing soccer by yourself. So I like to keep it fresh and do various things throughout the day or switch up my workouts. Even though we're being sent to work out, sometimes things could get old. Uh, so I'm doing a little bit of everything to keep myself refreshed, but we are staying in shape and hope that the season will convene soon.
Nice. This is from Parker. Parker number 4. What is your favorite move?
Right now, as I gotten older, Parker, I see you down here. It's the pump fake, like I'm gonna shoot the ball or cross the ball, and then I wait for someone to slide or run past me. I think that's my favorite move right now. Good question, Parker. Number
That is,
4.
yeah, that is a good question. This one is from Dylan Grilly, who is asking what year you started playing soccer. And I'll also piggyback on somebody also submitted, how old were you when you started playing soccer?
How's it going? I started playing soccer maybe 3 or 4. Is when I started, but I've been playing now. I'm 30, so I've been playing anywhere from 27 to 26 years playing soccer.
Wow, that's amazing. Going back to the stadiums, this is from Max Martini.
Okay.
Yeah, do you like loud or quiet stadiums? And I would also ask, which stadiums are louder than others?
Definitely loud stadiums, but it also, for a defender, it's a disadvantage because if you're talking to your center back, so if I'm talking to Jacob, or Americans pronounce it Jacob, if I'm talking to Jack Elliott, it's hard to hear or communicate. The loudest stadium really right now, just because of the atmosphere and because they have a winning culture, is Atlanta United. It's always rocking in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The atmosphere is loud. I just think that the culture of Atlanta, younger people use the word culture. They have a lot of influential people in Atlanta. Some of you may know Trey Young. He plays for the Hawks. Some of you may know Ric Flair. Some of the parents who may be listening. All of these type of personalities really show up at the Atlanta United games, and it adds to it because it's more of a, not only is it a soccer game, but it's more of a entertainment scene also.
Very cool. Which stadiums have the best locker rooms?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're a visiting team, they normally spend all the money in the home locker rooms, and none of the locker rooms are really that good. Just to be frank with you, Gillette Stadium's kind of not so good. Columbus Crew is kind of outdated. But if you ever go on pictures of websites, the home team's locker room is always very uh, exciting and new and vibrant, most definitely. And as new teams have come aboard, they've kind of pushed the limit on what they can do in a locker room.
Very cool. Who is your idol?
I would say my dad or my granddad. Those are people that I really look up to. They taught me how to be a upstanding young man in the world and what work ethic's all about. From a soccer standpoint, I would have to say a guy by the name of Cafu, Cafu. If you guys want to look up outside back, um, he was on the Brazilian national team, and I really like another guy, Clarence Seedorf. He was a destroyer, what we call a destroyer in the midfield. He always broke up all the plays. He tackled hard. He was kind of an enforcer. Everybody knows on their team they always have one guy who's a strong tackler, who's going to get the job done. Or they know a girl on the field who she's just got a little extra bite on your team. So those are the players that I grew up really liking.
Very cool. This question comes from Jitesh. How many times in a game do you slide tackle?
You know, I don't know. My dad used to get on me a long time ago. Hey, sometimes you have to tackle this time or slide tackle this time. But for a defender, if you leave your feet, you're on the ground, and if that person doesn't move, you can't really recover as much. So I think it's all about what the game calls for. But some games you can just really get stuck in, like the Red Bull. If we're playing Red Bull, you'll see a lot of tackling going on just because it's a rival or DC United. So you could see at least over 30 tackles plus, because those are our rival teams, and we don't usually get along. So you can see a lot of tackling in those games.
Nice. This is kind of a joint question. Part of it came in from Dylan Walsh, and part of it came in from our questions before that the kids submitted. Who is your favorite player to defend? And then I would piggyback, who is your least favorite player to defend?
The answer is gonna be you guys are gonna laugh. I'm sure some of you have seen this player, and he's done a lot of highlights. It's our very own El Sino, actually on our team. If you can defend El Sino in practice, you'll definitely be ready for the game. You guys know how good he is on the ball, and you've seen him cut up a lot of teams. So El Sino is my least favorite person to defend, actually, even though he's on our team. And he's the funnest person to mark because if you can mark El Sino during the week, it usually prepares you for everybody else that you're going to go against. So I always love playing against El Sino.
That's awesome. How from Loudon Hickey, how long do you train every day, or how long do you Hunter Anderson's also asking a similar question. How many hours do you practice per day?
Well, usually on the normal schedule, if we were playing, we would get there. I would get at the stadium at 9 o'clock. Usually prepare my body from 9 to 10 is usually breakfast and hot tub conversations. Then 10 to maybe like 10:20, we watch film. Coach Curtin will go over film with us. And then 10:30, we're on the field, and we're usually out there to either 12. And then So about an hour and a half. And then if you want to do more, you stay out there and do more. And then 12:30, we have a lunch. And then if we have to do more film, we'll go back and watch more film. And then leading up during the beginning of the season, sometimes we have 2 practices a day. So we would just stay at the stadium, and then we'll have another practice again at maybe like 3 o'clock. And then we'll be doing it from 3 to 4. So all the defenders will be together, all the forwards will be together, all the midfielders or midfields and forward. And then younger guys, if they want them to stay even longer, they'll stay even longer. So it's not just like a quick in and out type thing.
Cool. This question is from Jackson Strober. What is your favorite number? And is it the number you wear?
No, growing up, I actually wore number 13 my whole life. And because I was born on January 13th, even in college, club. And then when I got here to Union, I didn't really get to pick my number. And they kind of gave me number 28, and I've just been number 28 ever since. So that's number 13 is my favorite number. But I've just always stuck with 28 because I've been in it so long here at the Union.
Cool. Emma Garcia is asking how many goals you've scored professionally.
Zero goals professionally. But maybe one day.
Maybe one day. How many goals do you estimate you've stopped, though, professionally as a defender?
Quite a bit of goals that I've stopped as a defender. So
that's awesome. Andrew Price is asking, how do you recover after a hard practice or a hard game? How do you recover and give your body the rest it needs?
Well, we have different machines. We have a machine that we call them recovery boots. And we use recovery boots and it pushes out what's called lactic acids. So when your legs feel heavy, when I was your age, we would play a game in the morning, a game in the afternoon, and at night, and you can feel like you could do anything. But these boots help your legs feel fresh again. Then also cold tubs. You can get it in your bathtub, ask your parents, hey, can I use your ice maker? Or, can you go out and buy me some ice and throw it in there? And then it shocks the legs. That's the old school remedy before all this technology came out. Or you can do Epsom salt baths. I prefer heat over cold any day. So I do a lot of Epsom salt baths, but I also do a lot of stretching. And again, sleep is a big factor in your recovery.
Nice. Staying on sort of the rest and recovery. Someone asked this earlier. I don't remember who, but what's your favorite movie?
Oh, I'm a big movie guy. I don't know if you guys knew this. Oh man, this is a tough question for me.
It could be a couple. You don't have to stick to one.
One of my favorite movies, I would have to say, is Black Panther. More modern movies is the Black Panther. Obviously, I'm from Indiana. I don't know if you guys seen this movie called Hoosiers. It's a great movie. I'm a big Lion King guy, the original, not this one that came out in your age group. If you guys can, go see Lion King. I love a lot of movies. Shows right now that I'm watching, All American. Me and my wife are watching this show with All American.
Coop.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody said Coop. So that's a good show right now. So that's what I'm watching.
Oh, Parker is commenting that that her favorite show is Stranger Things. Do you like that show?
Well, it's based in Indiana, so I finished every season so far. So of course I'm a big fan of Stranger Things. So I finished that. It was a pretty good show. I'm eager to see what they're gonna do for season 3. So
yeah. This is from Mason Justice. What is your favorite season and why?
It's different by the place. Like I'm being from Indiana, it's very calm. So winter is very like angelic, but peaceful. You could see our state bird is a cardinal bird. It's red, and when you see like a cardinal sitting on a tree with all the white snow, you could see deer. I kind of live in a wooded area back home. It's just so breathtaking. But if I'm like at West Virginia, it's the fall. If I'm in Philadelphia, I definitely would say I would definitely say I love the summer because it's always something to do in Philly like I've never seen before. It's very vibrant. You can hear many different sounds, even though it doesn't have like the nature, the aesthetics of a city, hearing sirens, hearing music, smelling food on the street. Philly's definitely in the summer one of my favorite places to be. When I lived in Illinois, I would probably say just spring, just in general. It's different there as well. So
Nice. Brendan is asking me, you played for Marion LeBlanc at WVU?
yes, I played for Marlon LeBlanc at West Virginia,
Marlin. Okay.
and I played for him for a long time. And his son is right around your guys' age, is at 12 years old.
Kellen.
Nice. This one is coming up. Are you a dog person or a cat person? This is from Grady. Do you have any pets?
I don't have any pets, but I'm definitely a dog person, most definitely.
Yeah, very cool. If we weren't in lockdown, I forget who asked this, so sorry guys, but if we weren't in lockdown, what game would you most look forward to playing? And what game are you most looking forward to playing when you get back?
It would have either been in Nashville or Miami, but both of those games have passed on our schedule just because they're newer teams in the league, and it would have been just great to see what the atmosphere, especially the soccer atmosphere, would have been like in those cities. I've been in and around the cities, but never there for soccer, so it would have been those cities.
Very cool. A couple of the kids are asking, have you ever wanted to play for another team other than the Philadelphia Union?
No, not at all. Being drafted, I guess is more of a sensible thing. A lot of teams passed up on me, and they thought I was kind of hurt. But the Union, I've been here for 9 years too, and I just feel it's only right to play for one club. Kind of old school mentality where you don't see a lot of people switching up just because they can. I believe in being faithful to the club, and I would like to finish my career with the Philadelphia Union.
Dupe forever. What about, I don't know who asked this, but someone asked about what it was like to play with FC Delco alum Keegan Rosenberry before he was traded to Colorado.
Oh, it was amazing. Keegan's a wonderful guy. Uh, he's a fun guy. He was the team barber. Now he's the team barber in Colorado. Like I said, FC Delco. Some of you guys know Keegan, but it's a guy named, you guys should look up Ben Olson, and a guy named Jeff Park. These are some of the, I want to say, Hall of Fame guys in the FC Delco alumni. When I grew up, it was a guy named Josh Lebo, or Chris Lebo, sorry, that played for FC Delco, who was really big in the area, and a guy named Jordan Obrant, also growing up. So.
Cool. I'm just looking at these questions as they come in. Walt Barry's got a good one. Is a defender, what's more important, speed or strength, in your opinion?
I would say speed. As you can imagine, you look at me going against Zotlan, I can step in front of them. You don't want to get in wrestling matches. A lot of guys are strong, but then once you get past them, they can't catch you. So, I would say speed, but strength is in the mind, really. How you use your body. It doesn't matter how big a person is. There's been a lot of bigger players who have been bigger than me, but I've outsmarted them because I could think quicker than they have. So think of it from that standpoint. So speed, not only in the physical body, but also in the mind. Because I played against some defenders or learned from some defenders who haven't been as fast as me, but they could think faster. So they knew how to position themselves. They know how to read plays faster. So speed.
Yeah, this is from Haley. Haley, this is a good question to follow that one up. What do you think made you, what attribute or what we talk about a secret weapon here at FC Delco, and we try to help players find that through their development. What do you think is your secret weapon, and what do you do you think that helped you stand out, on your pathway in becoming a professional?
I think my secret weapon, uh, honestly, was the willingness to be able to play at any position. Um, being versatile, I would say. Here at the Union, I played left back. I played right back. Some of you don't notice I've even played winger. I've also played center back for the Union. So being versatile is probably my secret weapon. But I would say from a soccer standpoint, my relentlessness to get the ball back. Everybody. It's a show right now called The Last Dance, and I really identify with Dennis Rodman because he wasn't the best scorer, he wasn't the best offensive or notable player, but he did his job. And I think that's my secret weapon, to know my role on the team and just continue to always work hard, work harder than anybody. I think that's my secret weapon. No one's going to outwork me. You may be more talented, but no one's going to outwork me. So,
Yeah, you mentioned The Last Dance, so you're watching it?
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, guys, you guys can catch
What?
that in and on ESPN2. They've edited out all the bad language, so you guys can catch that on ESPN2 and watch it because
What?
it's called The Last Dance. And it's about the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, who Ray just mentioned, and how they won all those championships and back in the day and just never gave up. So someone is asking what weather you like to play in the most. Warm.
I like to play in the fall weather. Not too hot, not too cold. That's the perfect weather.
Got it.
Rain.
Got it. Did you play in high school? Did you play for a high school team? I should ask.
Yeah, I played for North Central High School, 2005 state champions in Indiana.
Wow.
We are a big time high school in the state of Indiana, just winning titles and other things.
Got it. Let's see. Let me look here and see what else we've got in the questions.
All right.
You talked about what you've been up to during the break, and you talked about overcoming adversity. What do you think, we're getting kind of close here to the end. What do you think is the best advice you could give to a young soccer player?
Number one, always have fun. When you lose the joy of the game, then you don't want to play the game anymore. So as long as you have joy in the game, you're always going to want to work harder, always going to want to do your very best. Number two, listen to your coaches, listen to your parents. They should have your best interest at hand as a young player. You don't know everything. You can always have room to be taught and to build your game. And then number three, always continue to work on your game. Don't feel like you have it already. Don't feel like if you're the best player on your team, there are 10 other better players in the country in your age group. So you need to have that mindset. There's always somebody out there working harder than I am. So those are 3 bullet points that I would give to a younger player, and stay humble. You know, sometimes I watch younger players. They start talking trash and they start doing all these antics. I'm not saying don't celebrate goals, but you know it's very different. The sense of sport now. Have sportsmanship as well.
Very cool. That is awesome advice. I've got a couple other good ones and then an easy one. This is from Vivian. If you could go back in time, what in soccer would you fix? You know, would you work to improve on yourself back in time?
You know, I wouldn't change anything now because it's allowed me to develop. And you guys asked the question, what's my secret weapon? That's a thing at FC Delco. If I went back and changed it, I wonder if it would alter my secret weapon. I believe everything happens for a reason, but a great question.
Yeah, that is a really good question. This is was that from Cece? If you could meet any professional athlete, who would it be?
Oh man, uh, I have a couple. I would want to meet Barry Sanders, who played for the Detroit Lions. I grew up loving him. Uh, I would want to meet Pele, uh, just to meet him, Brazilian superstar. Uh, I would want to meet Reggie Miller, just because I'm a big Pacers fan. You guys might be 76ers fan, but I'm a Pacers fan. And right now, I would want to meet Carson Wentz. So those athletes.
Very cool. This question is from Bryn, and I'm going to piggyback it a question from Anya. Bryn is asking, who is your favorite female soccer player? Anya is asking who your favorite female athlete is.
Back in the day, Brianna Scurry, goalkeeper. Right now, Maya Moore. She's a professional basketball player. In the soccer realm, I would have to say Julie Ertz, from a woman's standpoint. And I also want to say I saw that Mr. Price, he throwing up the Sixers cat.
um, Great. That was a good question. What's your favorite color? That came up. I forget who asked that.
I like blue and white. I like blue and white. So
Very nice. Well, we have about 2 minutes left. You know, is there anything else you can share with the group?
yeah, for sure. No, first and foremost, I'm thankful for this opportunity to speak to all the players here at FC Delco. It's been a pleasure, you guys having me. I know this time could be indifferent for you, or it may be strange for you as kids. Continue to be safe and continue to practice the correct social distancing till you wash your hands. This isn't an advertisement. This is just, you know, out of the serious nature of everything that's going on. Uh, Continue to listen to your parents and be obedient. Continue to have a wonderful day. You know, I just want to tell you guys are the future. You guys are next up. Continue to reach for your dreams. Continue to strive to be better every day. Uh, as I told you, I had a recording about my dream, and that's to play professional soccer. It's not far-fetched for you guys to live out your dreams. It may not all of you, even though I'm talking to soccer players, it may not all be soccer players, but all of you have aspirations and dreams. And anything is possible with hard work and believing in yourself and having faith in the Lord. That's just my spiel.
Well, Ray, thank you so much for your time and for answering our questions. And players, thank you guys for joining in, and thanks for engaging and asking some really good questions. And we look forward to seeing you back out on the pitch, Ray. So go Union, go Union.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and Rob, thanks for the intro. Rob Smith set this up. So Rob, thank you very much for setting it up, and we'll see you guys later.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
All right. Bye.
Ray.
All right, I want to see how many people are leaving. I want to see how many people are here.
Ray, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me.
Ray,
Yes, sir.
what was the first thing you bought with your first paycheck?
Oh, I gave it back to my parents. You know, they invested a lot of. You guys don't realize how much soccer is, but your parents spent a lot of money on you guys. I gave it back to my parents. You know, I took them out, enjoyed a meal. That's the first thing. So,
All right,
yes.
guys. I'm gonna let Ray go. All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, Ray.